Good morning.
Is that supposed to be a positive?
I'm just here to play.
Honestly,
I got a song.
made us take shit down. You know.
So we're
I got a little song
continuing.
in my heart.
Good people.
I put my guitar away and my saxophone. That's all that matters.
We're continuing our trek through percussion accessory instruments. So I said I'd bring my tambourine, and this is what happened. Alright, it got messed up in the transit. So not great, it needs to be replaced.
What's with the pad thingy in the middle?
Okay, so good question. So, mine a little harder, yeah, but you can still see. When I moved, somehow this got messed up. Disappointing, frustrating, gonna have to pay to get it fixed. You can order heads and do it yourself, but A, it's kind of hard to do, and B, I'm slightly too lazy to do that, so I'm gonna pay somebody else to do it for me.
Is it expensive to fix?
That's like, I think 80 or 90 bucks.
How much is a good tambourine?
So when I bought this, I think it was like 130 or 100 and something like that. But now they're like twice as much.
Yeah.
Inflation.
I was gonna ask.
I mean, granted, it's been, I don't know, probably bought this in like 2010 or something. So it's been a few years. It's not, it's been like 3 years, but okay. So mine doesn't have, we talked about thumb rolls a little bit. It's hard to do it well on this because of the head situation, but mine does not have any, what's the word I'm looking for, sandpaper. It does, however, you can actually see, like, it's got wax on the head, if you look really close. Mine is also very much a real goat skin head. It's pretty obvious if you look at it, it's real, not synthetic. But can you kind of see it looks like more textured? Right, that's actually the beeswax. Okay. I don't know how well you can see it on the computer, but this is more sort of textured from the beeswax. So that's kind of the standard thing to use to help with thumb rolls or finger rolls. But I still tend to lick my finger before. Every time I do it. Again, maybe that's gross. I don't know, it's just what we do. But I also am at the point in my life where I'm not really sharing tambourines with folks. You know, I'm mostly playing my own tambourine. Okay, you asked about this on the bottom. So this is moleskin. It's not literally moleskin, but it's a product called moleskin. Are you guys aware of this?
Yeah, is it just regular moleskin from like the pharmacy?
Yes. So you can buy moleskin at most pharmacies. What's the pharmacy here?
We have like
Thrifty White.
Thrifty White. Yeah. I don't know if they sell it.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I'm used to there being like a CVS or a Walgreens, and you can usually.
That's in Jamestown. Yeah, actually, our
Cool.
pharmacies are pretty good. I would say it's one of the nicest things in Valley City. So we have like 3 of them.
I'm used to there being like 4 within.
Thrifty White's pretty bougie.
Yeah, no, they're nice. You will have an easy time finding moleskin.
Cool. So moleskin is people use it in their shoes, like to help with whatever, like
Yeah, releasing pressure.
yeah, it's like with the Dr. Scholl's inserts and that kind of thing, and but percussionists use it a lot because it's a useful tool. So it's a soft, soft on this side, but then it's sticky, very sticky on the other side, so you can attach it to things. So a super common use for it is actually to sort of prepare certain mallets. So sometimes you have like a hard plastic mallet, but you want just a little bit of layer of something on it between the plastic and the bar or whatever you're hitting. So I have multiple mallets. I have little tiny strips of moleskin attached to them. It's actually really good for vibraphone. You can do a pitch bend on a vibraphone. It's like an extended technique, and it's helpful for that. There's also just situations where I'm like, I just need to cut the bite just a tiny bit, but I don't want to change mallets. So put a little moleskin on. But then people use it on drums sometimes to dampen things a little bit. So it just kills the ring. So there's not, the tambourine doesn't sound good because the head's messed up, but there's not a lot of ring. Which which I find most tambourines, even really nice tambourines, like the one we own, out of the box they tend to be too ringy. And this one, because it has the sandpaper on it, that's actually doing the same type of thing. So there's not really much ring to it. If anything, I would say that's almost too dampened.
Is it a black swan tambourine?
That is a black swan tambourine. I don't really know what the deal is. I mean, this is completely messed up. This is like a tunable head tambourine, but it's really.
Yeah, it's like a really crappy tambourine.
It kind of is. But like, I mean, the head's not really supposed to sound like this either. Maybe you guys could tighten this.
I literally have never played that before.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use it,
Yeah.
so I guess I don't know
I
why.
guess we've never had a piece that called for more than one tambourine, so.
Yeah.
They also might use it for pep band during basketball season. I don't know. No.
But regardless, you can hear that it rings a lot. I mean, it sounds really bad, but it rings a lot, which is not really what you want you to do with tambourine. Typically, you want it to be a little bit drier, so I put a piece of moleskin up. Some people do like moleskin for the entire bottom head. Really want it dry. Okay, so just things we didn't talk about last time is like fast playing. So, right, there's a limit to how fast I can do this. Okay, you're not going to need to know this that much, but it is in the book and I like to cover it. There's a couple different ways to play fast. So one is it's determined by dynamics. Okay, so if you're playing fast but it's quiet, a lot of times people will put the tambourine on a chair. I'm going to use the other one because this is the head situation on mine. Let's see if you guys can see this. Okay. So I actually have it like on my knee. Yeah, sorry if you need to.
I'm looking at the computer.
Yeah.
See the reflection.
Do you want to scoot over a little smidge?
I suppose.
Also, just put down the.
I put it on my knee and it's like pushed up against Tanner. It's pushed up against, so the shell is like on my knee. And both of my wrists are on the tambourine. Okay. Again, you're probably not going to need this very often, but it's just good to know that that's an option. People also do this like belly thing. Yeah. Kind of squish it into your tummy. If you don't have a chair, you can do this thing.
Have you ever actually done that in a gig?
I think I've done it at a rehearsal. People are like, "Whoa, you feel comfortable doing that?"
That was my immediate reaction.
No, usually you have like
Something to put your foot on.
professionals will bring something to put their foot on. Like sometimes people will just take like the base of a snare drum stand, so they can just like put their foot on something. That sort of thing. Eli, you want to try it?
Get up here, buddy.
Here, try the. Let's do this. Use just the. Kind of put your foot just like right there. It might be too low actually. Let's see.
What pictures do we have?
I don't know. Try the chair.
That'll work.
Go. Okay, is that what I did?
Not exactly.
Okay, do exactly what I did.
Like that?
Yeah, so make sure when you're doing the quiet stuff, you really need to make sure you're on the very edge, or else you're not going to get much articulation. And try using like little beaks. Yeah, it's pretty good. Cool. All right, someone else try it.
I'm gonna be a tambourine primary.
I love tambourine.
You're playing the tambourine.
As my primary instrument, I will play the tambourine.
Multi-percussion.
Is that right?
Yeah, good.
Can I do a finger roll?
Sure, try it.
Elizabeth was showing me how to do this the one day. I did not do it very well.
That's
can do it.
yours.
I can't do it.
Yeah, so the key to actually doing the thumb or the finger roll is you really have to stay along the very edge. You have to ride the edge the entire time. If you start to cut across, it kills it. So, like I'm on the very, you can actually see like where the shell is under the head, right? You can kind of see that little strip. The head is partially transparent. All right, you can see where the shell is under the hood, and you want to stay on that. And you have to maintain a certain amount of pressure the entire time. It is tricky to like basically learn. If you press too hard, it's not going to work, and if you don't press hard enough, then it's not going to work. Like if you're just pressing lightly, you're just going to rub the tambourine, right? If you press too hard, that sort of thing's gonna happen. Goldilocks, right? What?
I said and a little spit.
Yeah, you can also, it's good for dynamics, if you need to do a big dynamic. Or decrescendo, right? Harder to do with the shake roll. You can do this. There are ways to do crescendos and decrescendos with shake roll, but they're really hard. So the way to do a crescendo is people do this thing where they start with like one finger and then they transfer it. I don't know. I think it's very hard to do that well. Okay, and then the one other fast playing method is for loud. Okay, so it's very hard to, it doesn't sound so good to play loud. So everyone always thinks I'm making this up, but the way percussionists play loud tambourine fast is what we call knee fist technique. So you're playing between your knee and your fist. That's what we do. Or you can do this. I'm sorry, that's probably extremely loud on the video, but turn it down.
This is your notice to turn your volume
Yeah.
down.
Okay, let's actually look at page
I'm getting it out of my backpack. I'm gonna look at yours.
third.
Yeah, really loud.
Where's the tambourine page?
46A.
46A. Okay.
All my phone is loud.
That's why he has his knee up like that. Now I understand.
It's all coming together.
46A, yeah.
Becoming so clear.
Does he not actually explain what these pictures are?
No. One would think that he would.
He has it lettered. Oh, that's for.
Oh, so yeah. So what he's showing is that the tempo and the dynamic determines how you're gonna do things. So like, if we're just playing letter 18A, right, slow and soft, or 18B is loud and slow. 18C is soft and fast. And and then 18D. HKH is hand, knee, hand. Yeah, so loud and fast. Cool. There you go. That's the tambourine. Any questions? Okay, Alexis, come play number 8. Oh. Actually, do number 9. Okay, so you want to hold it in which hand? Your thumb doesn't go through. Okay, which hand are you going to hold it in?
The left.
We hold it in our weak hand. Yes, we do. It's a test. Okay, what angle do we want the tambourine?
45.
Yeah,
No, but
somewhere in between. Yep.
I have to think through the rhythm. I'm sorry.
Put it up so you can see it a little bit.
Number 9.
This is number 9 on 46A. Okay, pretty good. Tempo is too fast, so go slower. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And can we have dynamics?
Yeah.
Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Right, so if I'm starting with forte, I'm immediately going out, maybe doing something like that. Right, that's when you can do that. Again, don't actually teach your students to do that, but it's fun for us to do it.
Can you tell the wind player?
Grady, let's do it.
Go Grady.
Go.
And yes, I do that in real tambourine playing in
I
gigs.
believe that one.
Like this, have you ever like stubbed a finger when you're doing that?
No.
No.
I'm now disappointed. I was
Absolutely
hoping for,
not.
I was hoping for like a story.
I don't think you would.
I don't know.
Jam. So hard to jam your finger.
Nice. Okay, good. So the toughest thing with tambourine, right, is like doing the soft stuff and still getting it. Because if we kind of just do this, it's not super articulate. So a lot of times I do actually get my whole hand on the tambourine. Because you can hear the articulation better versus, and this is also harder to control. Okay, cool. Tambourine, we're done. Triangle.
There's a duet here
Tambourine duet. Oh, tambourine and triangle duet.
in tempo block and suspended.
Wow, I
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
if we're gonna do that
Oh my
eventually.
gosh. Wait, but there's 4 of us here. Percussion ensemble?
Wait a second. Did we just form a percussion ensemble?
Auxiliary percussion ensemble.
Multi-percussion is real. It's cool.
Okay.
Oh, was cowbell on your list?
Yes.
Yes.
I keep thinking that I think of new things.
Okay, so let's talk about the triangle. The good thing about this is we have a few, so we can all play in a second.
Everybody gets a try.
How many triangles do you have?
Probably
There's-
somewhere between 5 and 10.
There's like 6
It's a lot of
or
triangles.
7.
They come in different sizes.
Well,
There's only like 3 that I would actually probably play on though.
yeah, a lot of these are pretty bad.
To be completely transparent.
They're mostly bad.
Do you have like one of those like super thick golden ones?
I think our thickest one is
No.
like.
I have this. This is mine.
Oh, so when we went to the one guy's dude's place who was retiring, and he had that like thick triangle like this.
Concordia's percussion guy retired last year, and we
Interesting.
went to his office and bought a bunch of his stuff. It was
He had a triangle this thick. It was huge.
I could use that.
pretty bonkers. I know, you should have been there. Snatched up all the stuff.
He had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He
sold
ran out
it
of
all.
it. He ran out of his good tambourine, so
He sold it for really
he
cheap.
had like 50 of them.
See, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of stuff.
I have a lot of stuff too, but I don't have 50 tambourines.
I think he was going south, so he's like, I'm not bringing any of this with me.
Yeah.
He was
I have bought stuff from like retirement sales before, and it's like the best time to get stuff because people are like, I have money.
I know,
just
they're
wanna
like
get
free
rid
to
of
a good
this."
home.
He had his tambourines and he was like trying to get rid of these like knockoff off-brand, like not name brand tambourines. He's like, I'll give you 3 for a good price.
They had like bought bulk tambourines for their methods course. He's like, I don't want these.
That's weird.
I mean, not like bulk, but like they
Yeah.
I'm
Still
sure-
weird. Anyway, okay. The triangle. Okay, the triangle is an instrument people make fun of a lot, and I won't have it. Okay? Because it's a great instrument, and it's hard to play well, and I can't tell you how many times I've quickly fixed the sound of a triangle in a band rehearsal for a band director. And I'm like, do you want it to sound good? Because I can make it sound good really quickly for you, or not necessarily really quickly, depending on the situation. When I was doing my doctorate, there's like the way Stony Brook's music department setup is actually really kind of strange, and there's not really any overlap between the graduate students and the undergraduate students. It's very separate, and like the faculty doesn't really overlap either. There's really no performance program for undergrads. It's kind of like a general music and not even really much music education. Anyway, the only reason I'm saying this is because there is a band at Stony Brook, but it's not, like the graduates do not play in the band at all. It's like sort of a completely separate like university band situation. So like the guy who directs it, I don't know him at all. He just comes and does, like there's no band for grad students. So this guy just comes once a week and does like concert band with non-major undergrads. Anyway, I guess I should say there are a couple doctoral students who have TAs to help run the band, right? So one of them is like a percussionist, and so he's always there helping the percussion section. But like they asked me to sub one time, so I did, and the kid sounded bad on the triangle, which whatever, and the band director was like, I guess practice it, and then like laughed, and then they all laughed. And I was like, no, he needs to practice it. It doesn't sound good. We can fix it. Like, don't treat it like it's not a real instrument, because then the percussionists aren't going to treat it like it's a real instrument either. Okay, it's a lot of build up for a short punchline Tanner. But just because I'm looking at you. Okay, all of these instruments, yeah, there might not be like, 30 rudiments to work on with the triangle, but like, if you actually treat it like a real instrument that needs to do like A, B, C to be successful, then that's going to help it be successful. Okay, so the most important thing with triangle that I always like to tell people, it's not the triangle, it's not the beater, it's the clip. Okay, the clip is the key, and let me show you why. Okay, first of all, we have a few different clips here. My personal clip collection is in disarray right now, which I'm very sad about. I had a couple break. My best one, I lost my top string. Okay, so people will make their own like this. This is just like a $1 clip from a hardware store. Good. You can get these at any hardware store, and then people will like, usually you have to put some kind of hole in it if you're gonna do this one, and then tie a string. Okay, I don't like this one because this string is way too thick, and so it's gonna sound bad. So like right away, this is killing like a ton of the tones. You can't tell because it's super shimmery, but by comparison's sake, here's one that is mine, which is also homemade but is done a little differently. The difference in sound is like, in my opinion, pretty drastic.
It rings a lot better.
Mine is fishing wire and zip ties, not a string. So first of all, if you're gonna make your own, great. Don't use string, use some kind of fishing line. It's gonna not kill the sound. And I also recommend the easier way to do it, instead of trying to punch holes through a clip, is to use a zip tie. Right, these are just tiny, they're regular zip ties, but then just cut off all the extra. You always want 2 lines, why?
In case one breaks.
if one breaks, you don't want the triangle to fall in the middle of the gig. And I have had one break in the middle of a gig before, and you're really happy that you have your safety line. So one of them is slightly longer than the other. So it mostly rests on the one that's slightly longer. But then if it breaks, it's, on the side of the tree. Okay, this is like a mass manufactured one by Grover, which is the same company that makes tambourine. I think this one is fine, but not great. However, it's very stable, and I know it's not going to break. And it works okay. Okay, so the actual construction of the clip aside, the way you hold it is really, really important. And it's important that there's not too much slack down here. You see how the triangle is actually pretty close to the clip? That is good. So this one right here, I would not use because there's way too much slack here. So I'm gonna have a hard time controlling the tambourine. The tambourine's gonna move way too much. Okay, and I can't tell you how many times, even in good band programs, I've seen the kid holding on a damn shoestring or something insane, right? I'm not talking little crappy band programs where they don't know what they're doing. I'm talking walked into a really good big band program in a major city and they have a shoestring on their triangle, and I'm like, what is going on? Can you imagine if the saxophonist was yeah, I just put a kazoo on instead of my mouthpiece, and the band director was like, yeah, that's fine, let's play. Let's do some grade 4 band repertoire. What? No.
I'm sensing an image you just go to you're recruiting at a high school band, and you're just sitting there watching the concert, and you're just walking down the aisle going, no, you're doing it wrong.
I have wanted to do that. Okay, so either make your own or buy one. This Grover one is probably stupidly expensive for what it is, but it's still probably $20 total, so it's not that big a deal. Plus, I feel all you North Dakotans are handy or know a handy person, so you could probably just easily make one of these clips right there. I'm not very handy. I try my best. I can do some things, but this is not that hard to do. This is just buy a $1 clip from the hardware store, buy some zip ties, buy some fishing line. The hard part is I'm actually bad at tying not little knots. It's when you gotta so.
Have you been to a hardware store in town?
I've been to both. Yeah.
You been to Handy?
Yeah.
I love Handy hardware.
They have a student discount.
Yeah.
Recently came out about it.
Okay, but once we have a good clip established, okay, I'll come back to that. Take your hand, make a C with it. With your left hand, if you're going to play the triangle right-handed, which we're all right-handed. Okay, so we make a C like this. Right? Yeah, same as if you're holding a soda pop, an energy. I can't believe you're drinking an energy drink right now.
We're giving away for free.
It makes me want to throw up.
I bought 10 of them.
I was coaching middle schoolers at 7 a.m. I need this.
Coffee.
Wait, you're telling me I have 2 professors in a row that judge me for drinking energy drinks?
What, Dr. Clemens?
Dr. Clemens saw me with the 0 sugar Red Bull and went
It says
those
clean
aren't good for
energy.
you. And I'm I know.
Oh, it says clean
It
energy?
has the word clean right there.
Oh.
And it says it helps you focus and it helps with hair growth.
Increases energy, accelerates metabolism, immunity support, 0% juice.
Look at the hair growth part.
Where does it say hair growth?
Could use the hair growth part.
Hair and skin health.
Guarantee you that's
It's
bigger
kosher.
than a ball than actually.
Does it really say that it's kosher?
Yes, it's vegan, kosher.
Okay.
Improves focus.
Okay.
I'm focusing so hard.
So, pretend like you're holding your energy drink. Okay. And this is where the triangle clip is going to rest. It's going to rest. You should be able to balance it perfectly. At least one finger is going to be on top. So, it's typically, I tell people, the thumb, share, thumb and middle finger is where I like to balance it. Some people do the thumb and the ring finger because they feel a little bit more secure. That's fine. I find that awkward, but I don't have a problem with you doing it. But if you do this, you're kind of in a precarious situation. So do not put it on your index finger, okay? The clip facing away. Okay, let's practice. Let's all take a turn. Good. Pass it down.
Yoink. You play my own triangle. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Then you can do some cool music on it.
This is actually kind of comfortable.
Play a little Latin groove.
Yeah, try this one. That one is not great, but it's not terrible. The string itself I don't like because it's too thick, but as far as the actual
Like simply cannot mute it when it's that long.
yeah, you can kind of on that one though. Like I
Yeah.
could do it and not.
But it sense it's swinging. Not good.
Tinka, 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 tinka,
See, look
tinka.
at that.
This is comfortable.
That's good for you.
I'm not making fun of it.
I have a whole case of these in my car.
I wouldn't leave them in your car. They could explode.
I know, I need to bring them inside.
Okay, and then you can try mine too.
Boy. Oh, sorry. Should take a little field trip to the hardware store. I'm very like.
Especially why it seems like most percussion equipment uses something from a hardware store.
Nice.
Yes, you reach a point where you're just going and buying weird stuff from stores.
Half of them are just tools.
I was sending a bunch of emails about plexiglass a couple years ago. Couldn't find the right plexiglass. Trying to get it
Tinka,
imported from
tinka,
Germany.
tinka.
Oh, jeez.
Not gonna lie, I joined band my junior year of high school, and when I saw the break drum, I'm like,
Oh man, we should go. We
This.
should go to the junkyard and see if we can find some.
so I was so confused, and I'm like, we actually used it in something we did that year, which was surprising because
Wood blocks.
Use brake drum all the time.
I saw a guy on Instagram who forged for a bunch of them and had like a whole keyboard. Found enough graduated ones.
That's fun.
I know, like that's kind of dope.
Okay, so once we're holding it correctly and have control of the instrument, then we're ready to actually play. So I know there's like a lot of talk about the clip, but it really is like the most important part because you just can't do anything well unless you have a good clip and like you're holding it correctly and you can then control the instrument. So Elizabeth kind of alluded to this, but why do you want these fingers down here?
Mute.
So that you can mute or dampen. Also, so just that you can like control the instrument a little bit. So you don't want it swinging. If it's swinging, it's a problem. You're already literally holding a piece of metal that's vibrating in the air. Okay, it's hard to have control with that. And so if the thing is turning in a circle, like you can't play it well. Okay, in terms of triangle beaters, buy a triangle beater. Some look like this.
That is.
This one's really thick, but it's very light. I don't really like this. It's fine. It's like a good brand. I think it's Black Swan.
So when you're hitting it, isn't there like a thing where it's like you need to do?
Oh, to do a roll?
We'll talk about
Yeah.
rolls in a second.
Don't you need a little bit more metal than that?
No.
Does the size of the beater make a difference in how loud the ting is?
Yes-ish. I would say generally people treat beater size and similar to how, well, I guess just the way you would imagine, like, if you need to play quiet, play with a smaller beater. If you need to play loud, play with a bigger beater. I don't quite think I think that's an easy way to just explain it to your students that's accurate enough for their purposes. I would say for the most part, I only use small to medium, but I also know some people who only ever use like really thick ones, and they're just like really careful. Some people like the feeling of having like a bigger implement that they can use, and they can play quietly just because they have control, which is fine. I don't have a problem with this. I don't like to do it, but I'll talk about rolls in a second. I like to use, you can actually just feel fingers. So these ones are ECSUs. Is this one broken?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, there's no way that's what this
It's
is
no.
supposed to be.
I'm sure the head of it is floating around in the cabinet somewhere.
So these are mine. I have others.
What is that one like? Ovoid.
So it's like a teardrop shape with the idea being that you can, if you need to do like a crescendo, you can use basically a thicker size without changing beater. This one's like a fancy, expensive one
Yeah.
from like a boutique maker. This is my favorite brand of triangle beater, Stetzel. It's the German brand. I'm not really into percussion endorsements, but if they wanted to endorse me, I would take it.
Mallory was big into it.
He was a black swamp endorsed.
Yeah, people get real
He was addicted to Black Swan.
great.
He had to be.
Good for him.
He got us some cheap stuff though.
I like them because they're awesome and they're cheap.
Yay!
I love awesome and cheap. It's like perfectly weighted. Everything about it is
It
great.
looks extra bougie.
They could charge you that. It's like a $7 meter.
Did it have like a grip on it originally, or
Nope.
is it just like that?
That's how it is.
I kind of like it though. It fits very nicely in like my little finger.
This one is
crevice.
like $50 for just this,
Like terrible these finger crevices.
and that one's
Or
like
like you know,
$7.
like a little crease in your finger.
I might be,
it just
like,
it sits
slight
there
off.
very
Seems
nicely.
heavy though.
It's a good weight.
I like a heavier mallet.
That's one of the lighter ones. So I have they make heavier sizes than that.
This is so easy.
Yeah.
So does this one make a different sound with the oval?
Yeah.
It's a baton.
Yeah.
Get into bad habits.
I hope you never leave the band. I'm a great leader either way.
Absolute foul of
Just pick.
Okay.
Okay.
As far as actually playing the instrument now, I'm gonna do this too slowly. Oh my goodness, we're almost out of time. I just love the triangle so much. Okay, we hold it just like a snare drum stick. And we want to play on this bottom bar. We almost never play up here unless we're doing some like Latin percussion stuff. And we want to find, again, it's kind of similar to the tambourine where we don't want to be playing flat up and down. We don't want to be playing straight up and down. We typically want about a 45-degree angle. And exactly where we hit depends a little bit on the triangle, but I would say typically you're slightly off center. So you're not in the very middle, you're typically about right here. And what you're going for is lots of shimmery overtones. So here there's actually like a lot of different sounds happening. But also notice I'm playing really close to the triangle, yeah? Okay, I see a lot of students do this. Bad sound, hard to control. If I'm playing piano, I'm like super duper close. Even if I'm playing forte, like that's quite loud. And I'm really only a couple inches off the triangle. Or maybe I'd use a bigger beater if I needed to play fortissimo. I can't imagine ever needing to play triangle louder than that unless it's like a Mahler symphony or something insane. Right? So for your purposes, just tell them to keep the beater nice and close to the triangle because they're going to want to... People think triangle is a delicate instrument because it's called a triangle and it's a little tiny thing, but it really cuts through like very effectively. All right, so it's almost always too loud. And then people use a bad clip, bad technique, they get a bad sound, so it's like it's cutting through and it doesn't sound good, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, clearly I have triangle opinions. Let's try some... We'll,
Does this type of metal guy?
of the triangle?
Yes.
It does, although I'm not super knowledgeable about what different. That's like even a little too nerdy for me.
Okay.
It's like different alloys of
You look scared.
bronze and stuff. You can stand up.
Here's the performance.
Now it's time for us to perform. Mary had a little lamb.
Okay, everyone's gonna play on the downbeat. 1, 2.
Sorry, I wasn't. I'm ready.
Okay. And again, this is why we need to build empathy with percussionists in the wild, right?
I've got it now.
Okay, is that what you
I
hit?
hit the wrong spot. I recognized it. Where do I go?
Can we play together on the downbeat?
Sorry. I did it.
You didn't love my conducting?
It was
Okay,
just, it
buddy.
was different that time. I was like, huh?
It's different, yeah. I'm a really bad conductor.
Here you
Okay, now let's hear 4 quarter notes in a row. They're all together.
go. Okay.
Kind of.
I'm just following the conductor.
I'm just on the conductor. Is an excuse that will not work for you the rest of your life.
No.
All right. Who wants to keep playing? Tanner. All right. You guys pass here.
Triangle time.
Okay. Let's hear 1. 1, 2. Quite loud. 1, 2. Okay, 4 hits in a row. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so keep the beater really close to the triangle, right? Crappy clip, but hey, if someone was like, wait 4 quarter notes in a row, I'd be here. I'd be like, literally. I know I haven't given you a dynamic. Let's assume it's mezzo chill.
That's my favorite dynamic.
Right, I'm like, not even an inch away, I'd say. One more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, good. We have 1 minute left. We'll do a little bit more triangle next time. But just real quickly, the roll, can I have mine?
Yes.
My triangle.
Like a good beater.
Actually, I don't like doing rolls with this one because of the teardrop shape.
Yeah.
I feel like that was an oversight on their part. Tom. But, okay, this is not a triangle roll. If you ever do this, you will fail the regression method. Okay, non-negotiable. I don't care if it takes you, if you have to stay 2 more years to finish your degree. Okay, the triangle roll happens in the corner right here, and it goes back and forth between the 2 sides. Now, there's varying degrees of like straight up and down versus the sort of more traditional way to do it is like to thread the beater between 2 sides, which does sound better, but it's harder to do. So I'm okay with students doing this version. Okay, some people do this, which I think is worse, but I'm okay with it if it just helps you getting a student play the instrument. Do not do this. It's the first and last time you'll see that happen in this class. Okay? So I'm grabbing the triangle, not because you'd ever do that, but just to show you what it sounds like, what I'm actually doing in terms of like how fast it's going. I might go a little. Okay. The quieter the roll, the closer to the closer to where the triangle angle is, the louder, further out you have to go. So we'll work on that next time. Do just a little bit more triangle and then move on to the other essentials. Any questions? I will, I swear, assign a Tiffany etude today. Not been said. Coming.
Catch all of us in your place. That's great.
Let's do Tuesday.